Hey, yeah, we in the front row and it's so live.
Shout out to In the Front Row.
You'll see some of those highlights from Montrez and everyone throughout their
Hey,
drilling.
baby, front row the best.
Now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show.
Appreciate
Now
you
we
live
ballin'
and show
on
the
you
world.
already know.
Keep it going, Jermaine
It's going
Jackson in the
down,
building.
everybody so hype. High school to the pros. Now we in the front row. Now we in the front row. Yeah,
Back to the
now
ship.
you in the front row.
How does
Let's
it
go.
feel?
Feels good, you know.
Row and it's so live. Got the best view, VIP courtside.
man, I'm hurt, but I'm
It's going
happy.
down,
You know, I feel
everybody
like a
so
champ.
hype. High
Of course,
school
you know,
to the pros. Now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. Hey, hey, now we ballin', homie, you already know. Hey, it's going down, everybody so hype. High school to the pros. Now we in the front row.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the In the Front Row YouTube channel. I have a full panel on deck today, and we have a lot to discuss. Fredo and Shereen are with me as usual, and we have our social media manager, Joshua. Josh, how are you doing today? Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Fredo, Shereen, are you guys doing well?
Oh, yeah. I'm rocking this quarantine. I think we put down at least 15 bottles of wine and 2 bottles of vodka so far.
Wine Wednesday,
amateur
that's what they
style.
call it.
There it is. There it is. It's nice out here, guys. It's beautiful, but it's kind of hot. I don't know,
At the
Joshua,
Santa
how it is
Monica
out there.
Pier. It's quarantine. You're not allowed to be over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go to Newport because Newport's opening up this weekend.
For
But,
surfing, right?
yeah, no, well, for everything they said, beach
Oh.
completely open. There's like multiple beaches in the Orange County area. So Orange County this weekend is gonna be going on, guys. So
Or one Republican GOP area in California happens to be Huntington Beach and Orange County.
and they're rocking, man. It looks wild out there though. Like watching the views and seeing
Too many
everything.
people.
It's wild out there, but hey,
Go
you know,
die. I'm going to go kill myself by
Hey.
walking around at the beach and rubbing
Yeah.
elbows,
Hey,
but I'm going
but-
to have my mask on.
Nancy
But
Claus- guys, we encourage you to stay safe if you do decide to go out. Wear the mask, stay 6 feet, practice your social distancing. We have a lot of sports to talk about. We could talk about this all day, but we're
Okay.
going to jump into sports. The Last Dance episodes 5 and 6 happened this past weekend, and they were some juicy ones, introducing a lot of the finals, everything like that. So whoever wants to jump in first, I guess we'll start with you, Shereen. Your reaction to episodes 5 and 6.
I don't know all the I know somebody came out, I forgot who it was, some prominent person came out and said they didn't understand why, it was Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges came out, I think on Fox Sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was really disheartened by, Pippen and, a couple other of the players and the crack and the cocaine. It's like, dude, my family's sitting here. My 12-year-old, what did he say, son or grandson or whatever? How am I supposed to explain to him that I'm one of the team members that was doing crack in the locker room? Be more responsible. So, and I guess they didn't interview him either. We didn't get a lot of that juiciness out of our interview with him. We did get some really good tidbits, but it's gonna happen. These things are gonna happen. There's a lot of drama.
It was the
on that
80s.
team.
It was the 80s. What do you expect? It was the 80s in the NBA. The
There-
kids are going to read about it when they get older. So, I mean, why not hear from Michael Jordan and hear from
I think
somebody else?
there's some sort of bro code, right? That was some sort of like teammate code of what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. I mean, I can see that vantage points. These episodes were crazy. Fredo, your reaction to episodes 5 and 6 this past weekend?
well, of course, for us, getting a chance to get a close-up look on Kobe Bryant's rookie time against Jordan and how he was kind of being treated in the All-Star game. It was funny how they say that little Laker guy's in it, that little Laker kid's gonna get you. Watch that little Laker kid, and just any time surrounding Kobe Bryant right now, it's still a tough time, man. It's just but it was nice to kind of see how competitive and how everyone's kind of seen when Kobe was coming up in that relationship, and a couple of that strong message he had on there. He's like, if it wasn't for everything I learned from him, like I wouldn't have these 5 championships. And if it's not for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So it's just kind of like realizing stuff like that. And he did this interview he did this about a year ago, they said. a year before his death. He did it in January 2019, where he did this interview for The Last Dance. So that was the sad part, but that was very interesting. But there was a lot of drama with Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas deal. That's one of the things I want to kind of say right now. This Isaiah Thomas and Jordan, how they kept him off the dream team and who said what, and everyone's denying everything. They're like, well, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And I mean, at the end of the day, I know there's a recruiter for the U.S. team, and as well as the head coach, and which was his own very head coach, Chuck Daly. So I'm pretty sure, rest in peace, Chuck Daly is no longer here to kind of give us his side of the story, because it's kind of going down to the ground right now, because Isaiah and Jordan kind of just hate each other. It's all in the public right now. So it's kind of interesting to see things happen, but then the relationship with Charles and whatnot. So there's a lot of things to go on.
If Kobe and Shaq can make up, I think any of those guys can make up if they want to.
Yeah. It's definitely some pride in the way. There is a Dream Team documentary out there if you want to watch it. I've watched it before. It's very interesting. Guys, in NBC Sports there was a lot of reaction about a lot of articles coming out after episodes 5 and 6. One of them was an NBC Sports Bay Area article that interviewed Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr said he was surprised by Jordan's vulnerability during the documentary. Usually the documentary in the older days when he was playing perceived him as a very hard-guarded person. So whoever wants to have the floor, Josh, I guess we'll start with you. Are you surprised with Jordan's emotions during the documentary?
Probably shockingly, actually, him kind of changing, because, as I remember him, growing up and watching him play, I mean, obviously he's the greatest of all time in my mind, because that's,
Stop that.
Everybody has their opinion.
No.
I mean, come on. It's going to change down the line, but you got to understand where I was at, being a young teenager that, couldn't play basketball for nothing, but watching this man play. But, he was always he always seemed like he was always real quiet, real guarded. I mean, even you think about, go back to the time it happened, when his father got killed. He basically just, disappeared. He didn't talk. And I mean, heck, man, he all of a sudden just decided, I'm going to play a different sport. So, he almost just kind of ran away from facing the issues that were going on and just started to do something else. So it is kind of surprising for him just to open up. But I guess that's the good thing about, as you get older, you have that reflection and you're like, hey, maybe some of what I've learned in my time, I can pass along to some of these younger kids that are coming up, and they can learn from, my mistakes or the things that I did. So yeah, it was actually kind of surprising, because he's a pretty guarded person for the most time that I can recall.
I mean, you have to be ice in your veins when you're playing NBA basketball. You can't let much bother you or anything. But when you start getting to the certain, I was there when at Kobe's memorial, and he couldn't hold it together. He was emotional then, and he sat on this thing for 10 years before they did it. So I know he knew he was going to get emotional. That's probably why he put it off for 10 years, but thank God he's showing, a different side of himself. It's got to hurt to have all these people saying all these things and all the time, and I think he tried to back off from, like, he went and he owned a team, right? He owns a team, and
Charlotte, the Hornets.
But he's not outspoken. He's not a Mark Cuban. So people have been dying for this, and the whole Michael Jordan better than LeBron, better than Kobe, better Shaq, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and who's the GOAT? And I always say it's by decade. That has to wear on you, and at some point it's like, okay, I'm done with this stuff. Let's just get it all on the table. And I think it's kind of therapy for him personally.
Guys, before we wrap up this segment, I do want to get to another article posted this week that was very interesting to me. The New York Post did an article about Charles Barkley fearing Michael Jordan's broken friendship may never be repaired after Barkley criticized Jordan's work as a part owner with the Bobcats, now the Hornets. Charles Barkley on it said, quote, "The thing that bothered me the most about the whole thing, I don't think I said anything that bad. I'm pretty sure as much as I love Michael, until he stops hiring them kiss asses and his best friends, he's never going to be successful as a general manager." Barkley went on basically saying there's always going to be people around you, but you need honest people around you. Fredo, I guess we'll start with you. Is this friendship fixable between Barkley and Jordan?
I mean, I guess everything is fixable, but at the same time, I guess Jordan is a little hurt by this. I don't know why he should be. I mean, he's gotten criticized a lot worse during his playing time. It just seems that because he was successful in his playing time, but during his ownership time and being an executive, he hasn't been successful. So not being successful and getting criticized might not hit you as well, but I think Charles is because they had a relationship before, and then having somewhat of your friend calling you out on, when Charles talks, everyone listens, and whether it's true or not, everyone still pays attention to him. So he has a very strong voice, so I guess just something like that coming from him kind of hurting him in a way, but that's very fixable. I mean, it's just they're gonna have to sit down one day, have some wine and a cigar, and they'll be good.
Well, you got to think about it. These guys spent who knows how much money these two lost in casinos together over the last few decades, and the kind of things they've seen each other. I'm pretty sure they can find a way to mend fences, even if it's, Michael making fun of Charles never winning a title or for him being fat or whatever it is. But yeah, I think over time it'll get mended. Michael's probably just a little sensitive because he was, the greatest in his time, and then somebody call him out when he's not doing well. But yeah, they'll kiss and make up. Come on, how could they not? They're like best friends forever. I can't even imagine not being friends.
They're gonna play golf. Two people now that it's in the public, everybody's gonna want them to be friends, just like Magic and Bird, right? Larry Bird. They were bitter enemies, and they're the best of friends right now.
It's interesting to me. I think Charles Barkley, I have to agree with Charles Barkley here. He is a TV analyst, and when he criticized Jordan, it was during, I believe, an episode of TNT, and when he was on his show, that's his job, he basically went on to say, if I call another person a bad GM, that's okay, but I can't say Michael Jordan's a good part owner of a team just because he's my friend. I'm doing my job. And so I think sometimes you can't be as sensitive when the man's just trying to get that check from the TV and do his job. And also you need that honest friend. You kind of need someone to check in with you and check you if you're, doing something wrong or, possibly need to fix something. So I think Charles Barkley was just being honest with him. I think Michael Jordan will get over it eventually. I guess we will see. Maybe the documentary will heal them. They haven't spoken since Barkley made those comments about Jordan being a part owner at the time of the Bobcats, now the Hornets. Guys, we have to take a break here on In the Front Row, but coming up, we have part of our Craig Hodges interview to show you, so we're very excited. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you. Go.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe, guys, right now. Do it right now. Click
YouTube.com/in
it.
the front row. Click subscribe.
Right now,
We're only at 96 and we're at 1,000.
Literally,
That's
like right
true.
there.
Yeah.
There it is. Click it right now, guys.
We're getting
Click
there.
it.
Go subscribe.
Click it right now. Click. Subscribe.
To see
Right
Fredo
now.
and I debate.
Right
You don't
now.
want to miss
Subscribe.
that.
Yeah,
Like-
subscribe right now, guys. Subscribe. Do it.
We'll see you next week at 7:30, guys. Till next time.
VIP courtside, ayy, it's going down. Everybody so hype. High school to the pros, now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. Ay.
Welcome back to the In the Front Row YouTube channel. If you guys didn't see this past weekend, we had an exclusive interview with Craig Hodges that is up on our channel now, and we want to show you a quick clip of it. So here it is.
There it is. And today we have a very, very special show for you guys. We have a very special person. We have a great NBA basketball player, two-time champion with the Chicago Bulls, 91-92. As well, attended Long Beach State between 78 and 82, got drafted by the San Diego Clippers in 1982 NBA draft, and as well coached as an assistant under Phil Jackson between 2005 and 2011. And we have the one and only Craig Hodges. Craig, how you doing today, sir?
Welcome.
I'm doing fine. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank God, and bless all you and your listeners.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to have you here, to have our viewers here within the front row to get a chance to get to look at your story and get a good behind the scenes here within the front row. We just thank you for the opportunity to come on, sir.
All good, man.
Thank you. So, great. Let's just go ahead and start off with the first question here. Let's just kind of get the thing going. Currently, right now on ESPN, we have the new documentary, The Last Dance, that kind of gives us a very good perspective about the Bulls season from the very beginning on Jordan's time to the end of his time. What have you seen in the first 4 episodes that's kind of caught your eye?
Well, for me, once again, I feel blessed to get a chance to get an opportunity to share my experience. And for me, it's one of those things where, in watching, it takes you back. It gives you some, some memories that, you think about it and they're over. But when you look back at the way that, MJ was able to just galvanize so much support worldwide, and then we were able to experience it from an intimate standpoint of practice and bus rides and planes and that kind of thing, and to know, people's backgrounds, and you get a different perspective of it. And now, in looking back and in hindsight, I feel so great that I was blessed to play during the golden era of basketball.
Yeah,
the chemistry was big. Is what you're saying.
Excuse me?
There was a great chemistry.
Oh, no question about it. And I think, at that point in time, one of the, I think the common denominator was Tex Winter and his ability to be able to give us a system that was conducive in giving us an opportunity to play team basketball. Up until that point, it was a thing where Michael would go on his runs and, he would have games where he might get 45 and we would lose, where I felt even then, if he would have got 32 points and maybe Scotty get another 10 and drop for us another couple of dunks, I think the game would have changed. And that's what we got when we were able to go to triangle. And once again, to be able to look at Phil Jackson and the way he compiled his coaching staffs, and the coaching staffs with over 100 years of NBA experience, it's going to be hard for us to fail as far as being prepared every game.
So Craig, talking about Tex Winter here, while you attended Long Beach State 78 and 82, he was also your coach, right?
Absolutely. Tex was recruiting me from Northwestern, and he got the job at Long Beach State. And then at that point in time, for me, I just wanted to leave and get out of this weather and go to California. But he told me, it was something that he wanted me to come out and see. And when he took me out for the visit, it was one of those things where I fell in love with it right away, because I always knew that it was a place that I wanted to visit. I had studied UCLA and their programs under John Wooden and Kareem and Bill Wallens and those type of guys. So I knew California it looked like it was a lot of fun compared to the Windy City.
Guys, if you want to see the full interview of the Craig Hodges piece, it is up on our YouTube channel now, so definitely go check it out. We take a quick break here on In the Front Row, but coming back, we're talking the NFL.
Thank you. Go
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe, guys, right now. Do it right now. Click
YouTube.com/in
it.
the front row. Click subscribe.
Right now, like,
we're
click.
only 96 and we're at 1,000.
Literally, like right there.
Yeah.
There it is. Click it right now, guys.
We're getting
Click
there.
it.
Go subscribe.
Click it right now. Click. Click. Subscribe.
To see
Right
Fredo
now.
and I debate.
Right
You don't
now.
want to miss
Subscribe.
that.
Yeah, subscribe right now, guys. Subscribe. Do it.
We'll see you next week at 7:30, guys. Till next time.
VIP courtside, ayy, it's going down. Everybody so hype. High school to the pros, now we in the front row. Ayy, thank you for tuning in to the show.
Welcome back, guys, here on the In the Front Row YouTube channel. We are going to get into some NFL. Fredo, Shereen, and Joshua are all here with me. And, guys, some NFL news happened this week. First, starting with Antonio Brown, who was trying to make his return into the NFL. He's hired an agent. He started to work out with NFL players. And his most recent stunt was posting a photo in a Ravens uniform on his Snapchat. Shereen, we'll start with you. Your reaction, was this fair of him?
I mean, yeah, he's a U.S. American citizen. He can do whatever he wants.
Amen.
I don't know what to say. Like, are we shocked about anything? He wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
And
kind of sad.
most of the things he posts is him and his kids having fun, living the good life, actually. I think it's okay.
Yeah. Josh, do you think this is fair of Antonio Brown, or what's your reaction?
I mean, yeah, he, like Shereen said, he can do what he wants. And I think the Ravens GM, he answered, but he didn't answer. But if you think about it, I mean, he's got the Steelers that he's got to deal with in his own division. So I'm sure he's going to look for any talent that he's got. And he's also, he's facing off as, not the best team in the AFC. We all know who that is. So he's probably looking for any advantage. So could it happen? I could definitely see it happen. Would he make it through the whole season? His track record proves otherwise. I mean, he is Antonio Brown, so we'll see if he even makes it past one game. But
That's true. Fredo, any thoughts?
I mean, I never have any thoughts anymore for Antonio Brown. Anything surrounding that name, I'm not going to waste my attention on that guy anymore, so we can move on.
Yeah, I did an article why the Ravens should pass on Antonio Brown. It's on inthefrontrow.com right now, and you should go read it. But I think it's kind of weird that he's posting. I think it's kind of just a lobbying thing, kind of, get me to Baltimore. But he would be a terrible fit for the Ravens, and I still stand by that. They won 14 games last season. They don't need any help. Lamar Jackson's growing. We're going to move on because we don't want to give him that much airtime. Andy Dalton also was in the news this week by signing a one-year deal with the Cowboys. I believe it's guaranteed $3 million and probably, I think, worth up to $7 million. Is this the right place? Josh, we'll start with you. Is this the right place for Andy Dalton to sign?
yeah, I mean, I think he didn't have really any other option, right? He obviously was let go by the Bengals. He's proven that, I mean, he could be a starter. So I think it challenges Prescott. He's probably played himself into a backup role. So it's probably fitting that he is a backup quarterback. But and it's Jerry Jones, I mean, hell, he could end up signing Antonio Brown for all we know at this point in time, the way Jerry Jones, runs his organization. But I think it's good. I think it's a good plan. I think it's a good fit. I'm interested to see what happens.
Fredo, does this have any impact on Dak Prescott?
Kind of, I guess, in a way, just because the contract situation there, but talent-wise, there's nothing that Dak Prescott should be worrying about. The only thing he should be worrying about is trying to get paid, because Jerry Jones is just acting like a stingy guy, because there's no reason why he should be holding up. Yeah, he's trying to be the guy in charge of the situation. He never wants to be not in charge of a situation, but Andy Dalton has, he had a good first 5 years with Cincinnati. He took the Cincinnati Bengals to 5 straight playoff appearances in his first 5 years, so that's pretty impressive. But the last 4 have been kind of like, there's a reason why they let him go. But he'll be a backup throughout the whole year. I don't think he's ever going to start a game unless that gets hurt.
Shereen, any thoughts? Is this a good fit for Andy Dalton?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to take a deal somewhere, and Dallas is like the Lakers of football, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially
glamour, the cheerleaders are famous. But, I think it was a pressure move for Dak, personally.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, that's what happens when you're Cincinnati. You get the number 1 draft pick. You can move on from your quarterback. You said Andy Dalton is a playoff quarterback. He never won a game in the playoffs, so –
just making the playoff itself in football is pretty hard. So if you made it in your first 5 years from being, a rookie quarterback, that's a good thing. But that just seems that they didn't really build a good team around him to be able to, continue succeeding. So overall, he's a good talent.
Maybe he was the problem. Maybe they built a good team.
I don't think he was a problem. He didn't really have no one to throw to. I mean,
they had a very difficult division as well. We're going to move on to one last NFL headline really quickly. The Bears declined their 5th-year option on Mitchell Trubisky, who's been their quarterback for, I believe, 3 or 4 seasons now. Shereen, we'll start with you. Your Arizona boy Nick Foles was traded to Chicago. Is this the right move? Is Trubisky's reign in the NFL deservingly over?
For me, quarterbacks get hurt all the time. So even if you're the starting Mahomes, he didn't get hurt, did he? Did he go through the whole season not getting hurt?
No, he was out for 3 games. He was
out 3 games.
So many shows, all they talk about is who should be the starting quarterback and this and that. If they just ran it like the Eagles did, where Wentz and Foles were hand in hand, knew what was going on, they could switch out if they had to. It worked. They won a Super Bowl that way. So, the quarterback's very important, but, they're always going to get hurt. There's always going to be a place for them. Just like Dalton got on the Dallas Cowboys, I always feel like, Trubisky's going to have a role somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. Any thoughts, Fredo or Josh?
That guy is not going to have a role after his first 4 years that he did with the Chicago Bears. This guy has – Chicago actually was in somewhat of a window to actually win something, and they were pretty good 2 years ago. Last year, what was that?
The team sucked.
No, they were good. They with him they went like
for one season.
4.
They were good. They were good. The quarterback
Yeah,
was.
they were very good. They have a very good defense as well, and he just made all the mistakes, and it was all on the quarterback. So if it wasn't for him, they actually would have been winning some maybe more than what they've had. But I've seen a lot of the Chicago Bears, especially because they play in my division with my Minnesota Vikings. But the Bears were pretty tough. But Mitchell at times kind of held them back, and that was a good thing. But they noticed themselves. We're not going to give them that 5th option or the 4th option. We're going to let them walk away. And I mean, they got Nick Foles. I guess we can call him a Super Bowl champion. But all right.
It's interesting to me because first, I think Matt Nagy, the coach, and Mitch Trubisky came in together, if I'm not mistaken. He had a great rookie season where they won 12 games. They hit the field goal post in the playoffs, not to advance against the Eagles, where many thought they could have gotten to the Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl. So they had a very talented team. I think they brought Foles over to originally do a quarterback competition between Foles and Trubisky, kind of light a fire under him, but then they just declined the option. An interesting move. Guys, we do have to wrap it up. Before we wrap it up at the end of the show, we love to do some shout-outs. So do you guys have any shout-outs to give this Wednesday night?
When was the draft? I'm losing track of time.
Yeah.
Did I shout out Khalil Tate yet?
I don't remember.
Khalil Tate is switching from quarterback to wide receiver. Shout out to him. Congratulations. You're a new Philadelphia Eagle joining another Wildcat, Will Parks, one of my favorite NFL players of all time. And you guys are going to rock it over there. And there's going to be trick plays with you. And, kudos to you.
Fredo, any shout outs?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of shout-outs right now. I didn't really think of one, but I guess I can just shout out all of you guys. You guys are 3 wonderful, special people here. And I guess, you know what? Let's shout out at the same time. Shout out Craig Hodges for coming by this past time. Shout out to Craig Hodges. Thank you very much for giving us a lot of your time. He did give us a lot of his time and a lot of great stories and, with the Lakers and the Bulls. So, like Dylan said, go ahead and check it out on our YouTube page. Go ahead and check out the full interview with Craig Hodges. But yeah, shout out to Craig Hodges.
Josh, any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, hey, shout out to all the subscribers on our YouTube page. Go in there, watch, man. We've got some good stuff coming. These guys are awesome. I know Fredo's got some stuff up his sleeve. He's getting ready to shout out. But biggest thing is, hey guys, we're one day closer to sports being back on. So when we all got another day, so make it extra special.
That is true. Shout out to Craig Hodges because that was a wonderful interview we did. He took almost 50 minutes of his time with us, guys. So that was amazing. Also, shout out to all the essential workers working out there right now in this quarantine social distancing period. Guys, we have to wrap it up. Everyone, please stay safe at home. We will be back soon with more content. But in the meantime, go watch that Craig Hodges interview. It's up on our YouTube page right now. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get our notifications, and follow us on all social media at In the Front Row LA. We have to go, but we will see you next time. Hit that notification bell, guys, when you subscribe.
Yep, hit it. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Hey, yeah, we in the front row and it's so live. Got the best view, VIP courtside. Ay, it's going down, everybody's so hype. High school to the pros, now we in the front row. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. Hey, now we ballin', homie, you already know. Hey, it's going down, everybody's so hype. High school to the pros, now we in the front row. Hey, now we in the front row. Yeah.